Hey, how you doing, Virgos? How you doing? This is Queen Lisa. I'm the host for this channel. Welcome to Conscious Waters Ocean Deep. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys are looking forward to your week ahead. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and press the notification bell so that you can be updated when I've uploaded new readings to this platform. Also, check your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, and any other star sign you have in your birth chart that may resonate with the readings on this channel. Do take what you like and leave the rest. So, I just want to say thank you to you all who have liked, commented and subscribed to this channel so far. Please continue to do so and press the notification bell. So, what's going on with Virgos? So, there's some information to sort out here. Someone could be scripting something or writing out something for you, or maybe sending something to you, or postponing something for you. I'm hearing something about a script, or maybe even a prescription, or maybe even a job offer or notification. It does say that you have wonderful things that you want to offer, and even proceed with caution when you are doing things. Doing good in this company or this work is going to be great news. Gently does it though, as someone wants to know other things around you. Okay, so there could be someone else sorting out something, but someone else wants to know other things around you. Okay, all right. And something about being a team player as well. Okay, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, you could be dealing with a water sign, you could be dealing with an air sign. You could also be dealing with another fire sign like yourself. Okay, or earth sign. All right, it does look like this person doesn't want to speak much or even say much to you. At times they really want to speak about what's going on with you in your mind though, and wonder where things are going. At times they don't know how to support you or even please you with things you've got going on, but working with you is mostly what this person wants to do. Working with you. And some of you guys are working on your feelings as well. You can feel like there's a message that needs to be shut down as well. Okay, or just to postpone something. Okay, it could even be in regards to work. It does look like you want to I'm picking up something about feminine energy as well. It says sometimes you wonder what's going on inside you, but females are there right now cautioning you about what's been said between you and a third party, and possibly even a family member. Okay, it does say that you have brilliant ideas to renew yourself and strengthen your mind, and gentle mental situations that have occurred in the past may no longer need to be examined, possibly if someone can script something in a better way and start releasing you from mental torture. Okay, or maybe even helping you with a third party do something to release them from some type of torture, some type of karmic mind games. Okay, karmic mind games. Something about working on some feelings, as some forces have been beyond your control, and fine-minded people may not be available to you right now for you to please, or even certify that you want to stay away from like war zones or warnings. Okay, maybe like people that have caused you concern in the past, or giving you grief in the past, or even complained about you or contemplated about things that you were seeing or doing. All right, it does say justice is here though for you to continue to do good to your mind and your work. All right, some of you guys may, have an internal wish to worry about either someone or even some feelings that you have. Okay, and you've been holding on to being confident about yourself, and feeling no need to speak about things is going to be better for you to do, as you do worry at times about things that you may say or do, but not really wanting to see that bad news comes out of it. All right, you may want to keep things private as well. And maybe someone around you could be keeping some things private. All right. And holding on to being confident, and someone's wishing and hiding that they don't want to hurt someone, but they really want someone to feel like they have bad news. At times it's not going to be you, it could be someone else. Okay, we have Aquarius here. We also have I'm hearing motivational speaker, but I'm seeing Aquarius is here. I'm also seeing I'm hearing someone's name, but yeah, anyway, I see Aquarius here. I also see that there is Cancerian here, okay, or Pisces, and I'm also seeing that there is Earth energy here as well. It does look like someone wishes to contact you or speak to you about driving as well. Maybe some of you are drivers and don't know how to support your mind with people, or maybe even wondering what's going on with you. Is someone trying to figure out what you're doing or what you're up to these days? It does mentally speak to you though about things that you are doing overall. Some of you guys may be working on wondering if you're going to be driving somewhere in the near future, or working towards it, or maybe even seeing someone again, or sorting out who you are as a person. Could possibly be someone else trying to entice you to be something that you're not, or maybe even entice you to be a part of some of you guys, maybe legal matters, or even I don't know if someone here does like some type of drugs or anything, but it does say warning signs are there for people to speak about things in all kinds of ways. It does say dig deeper though. At times you need to know what's going on beneath you, or even on the surface. Sometimes people are there not causing you harm but want to see you harmed, but sometimes people want to see good for you too and want to see blessings come to you. Okay, but you could be contemplating what's going on with your driving, or your money, or even a car right now for some of you guys. Okay, or maybe even a driver. And some of you guys are contemplating your marriage or a marriage. Okay, and it says, word of advice, don't speak about blaming anyone. There could be courtship there for someone that doesn't know when they will get married or see you again, or see a female that wanted to see them in a bad mood before. It does say someone else. It doesn't say it looks very nice, but a person wanted to see if you was caring for yourself the way they didn't give you good karma. Okay, could be an air sign person. Maybe this person's been dealing with a fire sign who's wishing and hoping for like a marriage, but maybe there's a third party perspective of why it couldn't happen. It does say someone else feels like they couldn't completely choose between two people and wanted to know which way to go in their mind about why they study you so much. It says bad news for this person. It doesn't sound good why this person always looks for you, but they don't always need to or even speak to you. They just want to know what happened to you. Okay, all right. It does look like some of you guys will be moving forward with your prayers and hoping for great news to come. Not sponsoring bad news. Noticing that third parties or people have been in the way to, you know, mind game you or put a perspective in your mind about things that you needed to do or take care of. And ideally wanted to solve decisions for you or help you towards making your own. Okay. Okay, I'm hearing don't speak, I want to speak to you. So someone may want to speak to you. It does say communication is something I need to support my mind with things that I want. Can I get hold of you to tell you that you've got to help me? I just want help with this. I really need help with this. So someone wants help with something here. Okay, it does sound like someone wants to dig a hole deeper though, or doesn't need to, but it does say that you have to wonder what's going on mentally with your structure or your mind. If you feel bad about something, release it or let it go, or grieve about something that could happen. Don't speak though, just have good faith that things are going to be okay. Don't worry about other people's dramas. It says it's not going to be you that has a problem with it. It says I know I want to support my mind with things I'm doing. I want to stay away, or maybe even keep a hold on things that I've told you. I just noticed that I need to speak to you about things that I've told you. So someone wants to speak to you further about things that they've told you. Maybe they need your support with something here for you to put down your guard about something else and to listen to them about something that they've spoke to you about. It does say a female here wants to know how they can support your mind, or probably even pray that nothing is centered around your bad mood. It does say blessings can come to you at any time, and see that you are not given a bad reason to believe that problems are there. It does say you wonder what's going on with your family at times, but you do believe whatever happens to them is going to be blessed or grilled with problematic situations. It does say many times over couldn't happen more further from what is real. It does say you have to bless yourself with this one. Doesn't say bad news. So internal speaking, or even internal thoughts, or even mindful things that you were doing may look, absurd at times. Sometimes when you have to be mindful about things that you're thinking or seeing or speaking about to yourself, privately, okay, sometimes it might seem absurd at times, the way you may be looking at things versus what's going on around you. But it does say to be cautious about those things and worry no more about them. Put them down and look forward to babe. Something about babe. It does say babe because someone here doesn't want to know that it's blessed away from you. But it does say caution, you just do need to know that you have blessed energy. It doesn't say that you have blamed anyone. And it does say babe, I want to know what's going on with you. So someone could want to know what's going on with you right now, because I'm hearing the word babe, like someone, maybe it's your babe. Maybe someone wants to know what's going on with you. It does say your babe, or someone that loves to call you babe, wants to see you or speak to you, or even tell you that they have fine things to tell you, loving you, and certainly giving you time to wonder about the things that happened last week or last year, or maybe even certainly want to tell you that they love you. Sexual energy is something that they see with you and don't know how to support other things in your mind about. Babies, maybe someone wants a baby as well. It does say wonderful things can happen if your babe comes into completion, i.e. it doesn't say a baby, but it does say baby is something that this person wants. And it does say babe, I want to know if you're going to help me with something. So there could be someone that wants help with something. Someone could be calling you babe and saying, look, I want help with something, babe. It does say many times over you have to see what's going on. Critical things are underneath the surface and bad news is there, but warning signs are there on the surface to tell you that a babe wants you. A babe. I love you. I want to deal with you as my female. You're my babe. Oh, that's so sweet. So someone may feel like, you're my babe. I want to speak to you. I want to see you. You're my babe. Okay. Okay. It does say sometimes you've got to look over and under, or even under and over. Sometimes you just got to look what's going on within you and over the clouds, over the moon, over the stars, i.e. over time. See what's going on with you, because sometimes you don't know if it's going to trouble you again, that people want to curse you or speak to you in bad news. Sometimes really bad news, because warning signs are there for you not to speak about it. But I know that I want to see bad news, and this could be an air sign. It could also be a female Gemini. It does say this person wants to see bad news and can't hear it, or doesn't know what's going on, and doesn't want to know that you're judging them, but they do judge you often, and they really curse you, or even speak to you like they're cursing you to put spells on you. At times they realize that they shouldn't, or they should, because sometimes it's not the same person, but sometimes it's a different person that wants to communicate with you about good things. It does say a Gemini person wants to speak to you about good things, and overall there is a negative one that wants to speak to you about bad things. So there could be, a good Gemini here that wants to speak to you about good things, positive things, and then there's another one that wants to speak to you about bad things. It does say many times over a person doesn't know how to stop bothering you. They keep communicating with you and trying to harm you. They don't know how to stop. They may not stop, and they don't know why they even communicate with you. They consciously want to know when you're going to live out a drama or karma or bad news. It does say blaming her is not going to be the answer. She has to move on or move past her mind. She never knew why she kept cursing you or putting down mental stresses on you to communicate with things that she does know that you could speak about about to her, doesn't want to hear that you speak about it to her at times, but does know that you can, and really pushes you to wonder if you're going to come out and speak to her about mental things that she has struggled to control in herself, or maybe even mental things that she's given other people to do with you. And it does say that you have bad news overall dealing with her. It does say when she realizes that she doesn't have problems, she moves past it and moves past it is something she knows she could do when she feels like it. It does say blame is something she wants though, and it doesn't say warning signs of why she wants the blame. She knows that blame is something she needs or wants in her life, but she can't control her mind. Her head is telling her off constantly, telling her warning signs are there to stop bothering your energy and to leave you alone. When will this die out? So someone here keeps bothering you. It could be a Gemini person, could be a fire sign, could be an air sign, maybe even a water sign. But I do see that someone here is blaming you, or not really blaming you, but wants blame because of the things that she does. Okay, it does say females here don't really like me very much, and I wonder why I keep karmically giving you power to harm your mind. I really harm your mind at times. I realize this and I don't like it. I just noticed that I don't like it. Okay, someone also knows that they harm your mind in some way. It could be a water sign man here. He does know that he looks into things too deeply inside himself and wonders when it will come out. He does know he hates it though, or doesn't like speaking about it, but he wonders why you speak so much to yourself about things that you know you are going through, not to bother him or even speak to him or talk to him, but he knows why you do it. He realizes that he doesn't want to get involved, but he does see you talk about things a lot to your mind. Doesn't want to hear that you do, but you do gossip a lot to things inside yourself about yourself and why you do that. I mean, someone could be just overly curious as well. All right, overly curious. I mean, naturally people have to, have communication with themselves, inside themselves, or even, talk to themselves at times, depending on, the situation. Okay, and to know thyself, to understand yourself. It does say rooting out situations is never going to be easy to answer the questions of a person that's simple or doesn't really understand the characteristics of a person or even life itself. It does say bad news for a water sign man that constantly looks into you and doesn't know how to stop. He wonders what's going on with you. Caring for you and wondering for you in your ways are easier said than done for you, but not for him. He does wonder if he can mimic you or even passionately give you time to think about things, or maybe even studied you way too far in your mind about who you are as a person, your family, your figure, your confidence, or maybe even things in your family. Okay, and I do see there's a call or something this mind wants to do. It does say mind because he doesn't mind keeping closed off from you, but does wonder why he has to speak less to you, doesn't know why, and realizes that he shouldn't speak to you at all. He does wonder when it's going to start that you give him a ring. At times he wants to know where you are and who you're with and what you're doing or what you're up to and what your family saying about you and who's speaking to you now and where you're going in life. It does say bad news if he keeps bothering you. He's very mentally stressed out with things he's got going on and doesn't like personal problems in his life about who you are versus who he is. He'd rather not speak about himself and sees himself not in a good way, but he works with you in your mind at times to war with you. And he doesn't like speaking to you, but he wars with you mentally. Okay, so sometimes you may feel his energy, telepathically. All right. I'm also seeing that some of you guys may have your feelings held back or don't want to speak to someone, but someone called you the other day and doesn't know how to support the ideas you have. It does say poor judgment here because she doesn't know how to speak to you directly, but she knows who's warring with you, and she's got karma coming to her mind about how to deal with you, or even a son or maybe even a daughter. Some of you guys are dealing with scenarios different from each other, but it does say fellowship is there for people right now to support you or maybe even help you pass a mind game of others. Okay, all right. It does say when you get involved with things, you're going to get good karma. It doesn't say it's bad, but you have to warn yourself that you dress nice in your mind about who you are, looking at yourself, and very, very sweet, very nice person. You're very, very nice. I like you and I really want to know you. So I'm going to give you a ring or a call next week, Wednesday or Tuesday. I really just want to hear from you again. So someone could want to hear from you again. Okay, someone thinks you're very sweet or very nice and wants to hear from you again. It could be you that feels this way, Virgo, or it could be an air sign female, or even an earth sign, another earth sign, or maybe even a person that knows that they can speak to you directly or even firmly at times. Maybe they struggle at times to see what's going on with you, but they realize that they're not speaking about you in negative ways. They just warn themselves that they want problems no more, and they don't want to hear that bad news comes to you through their mind or things that they've got going on. They realize that they're not always in the greatest way to help you, but sometimes they are, and they look forward to blessings coming in to support you. Okay, I do see someone's looking into their confidence and wants to certainly help you through your struggles. It does say some of you are dealing with special needs people or people that have poor judgment. At times you just wonder where things are going with your life. At times you wonder if people are speaking to you about things you want to know or hear, or even notice that you don't have great times in yourself because of the mood that you carry. One day at a time. It does say one day at a time, because you have to warn yourself not to speak, but you are stroking more of your time spent alone in your mind, making sure that you are healthy and well, and looking forward to blessed energy coming in, holding on to things that you know that you've got or obtained, or having great news overall in your life. Okay, it does say speaking about people though, and it does say warning if you are one of those people that smoke or even drink alcohol or even do good in your life. It does say sometimes people want to worry about you or contemplate whether or not you're smoking too much or even speaking too much about dealing with I'm hearing dope. I don't know, some of you guys, you know, are around somebody, if not yourself, that deals with drugs. It does say some of you don't have problems with this, but I know I could sponsor hiding myself and putting down a simple reason to believe I could sell you some. Okay, so it's like, I feel like someone wants to sell some drugs to someone as well. It does say someone doesn't know how to stop giving someone the idea that they could help themselves with this drug. It does say some of you may take drugs or even look for the drug or want the drug, but some of you guys don't want to know that people know everything about you when it comes to these drugs. Some of you guys are dealing with struggles with mental stresses of other people's, and it doesn't say you want to get involved with any drug. It does say warning signs are there for people that do, and I realize I'm not always going to be the one that does. I notice people always take drugs, and I realize I'm not going to be doing that. So some of you guys do not take drugs, obviously. And it does say some of you guys realize that you have great news to believe, that friends are around you to support you, maybe people that want you to see that you have better lifestyles. At times you have great news with your lifestyle, and it does say sometimes you don't, but you wonder when it's going to get better. People are there contemplating right now whether you should sell out to yourself in good ways or good measures, making sure that you're stressed less and look good and show up for good meetings, or even systematic details of you being punished, or maybe even problematic problems inside yourself that you are dealing with. Ideally, you wouldn't want to see bad news. It does say one or two of you are dealing with bad members of your spouses, like some spouses, or parental duties or family problems. It does say one or two of you have got problems with people that don't want to see you win or even see you wine and dine and be happy or merry. Wow. Or maybe even married. It does say there is stress there for you to move forward with, and pray that you do not have primary carers in your mind to help you support yourself with bad news. One day you realize that you needed to look past situations and look further on in life and see who was going to be there for you when you're old and grey. At times you wonder who it is that's going to support you when you're old and grey. It does say some of you realize it's not going to be all of you that think this way, but some of you wonder what happened to people or where they going. Why do I feel like I'm not surrounded by positive energy or enemies are there right now to support you. Maybe it's not always enemies that are there. It does say one or two of you wonder about these things, but it does say poor judgment if you think too deeply about it. Speak less of it and give yourself better news. Don't strive for confidence in bad news. Look for blessings in your life and start working on these ways, and proceed with caution, as one or two people want to see you harmed. Okay. And it could be a fire sign. We've got a fire sign energy here. Okay, I'm also hearing Gemini too, but I'm also seeing that someone could be looking for someone or wants to know where a person is around you. Okay, it could be an Aries, but it does say this person doesn't want to be seen or even heard of, and why should this person even speak to someone that they don't know? It does say this person doesn't even believe they should be invited into the minds of others when they're constantly being worried about people talking about them. It says many times over someone wants to look for you or see you, and it doesn't say why you have to be seen, Virgo, but it does say some of you are dealing with a person that wants to be seen or is looking for a reason to believe that they are seen, or wants to know that they are not seen. It does say some of you guys are dealing with people that don't want to be pressured into things that they don't know or understand, or even see that problems can come to them. It does say they wonder when they can harm themselves through the energy, or maybe even come about and talk to you. At times they don't want to speak to you, but warning signs are there for a female air sign that doesn't know how to stop looking for someone in your life and wants to know when this person is coming around to you, or coming to you, or sponsoring you with help, or maybe even problems in their mind, dealing with them and how they can support themselves with poor judgment of who they are, and want to see you have the same issue. Okay, it's like someone's trying to poke their nose in your business too much as well. All right, and it does say when she does realize she does this, she wonders why it doesn't come about, because she's warning herself, don't speak. But what if I do see that I have problems in my mind? I realize that I can't speak to you or even talk to you the way I used to. At times I stopped thinking about you, and then I realized I started again. I just communicate with you constantly, and whether or not you like it, I don't care. I just know that I can't stop doing it. It's really painful to see that someone keeps pressuring you and harming you and hurting you, and then I have to come along and say, well, it is me. I do know that, because I always try to warn myself that I could pressure someone to hell and make them feel bad and useless, and don't want to know that you feel like it's me. At times I wonder if you knew that I was doing this, but I hate the way you find out things or look for things and then sponsor me doing it. I hate it. Can't tell you why, but I hate it. Okay, so this person knows they're doing that. They hate it at the same time too, but they know that they can't stop because of their wicked ways. Okay, it does say female person does this, and it does say warning if you're a man, sometimes you may not know who it is that's doing it. At times it could be a girlfriend or even a parent. At times it could be a friend or fellowship or someone at work, or maybe someone in the legal system or even around you that doesn't want to know that you know what's going on with them. They realize it's not bothering you as much as they could make it bother you, but they wonder who's troubling you when you go through things in your mind, or maybe even things that you're talking about or even saying to them. They wonder who's bothering you and where it's going, and how they could charge in and support you and get rid of whoever is charging in to support you mentally with struggles that you've had for time. It does say for time, because someone feels like they've caused a lot of grief to you over time and meddles in your mind or even in your personal love life. It even sponsors you with bad moods. It does say some of you are dealing with a blind-minded person, someone that doesn't know how to see everything that you see, or maybe even understand what it is that you go through. How to warn yourself of good karma is to start sponsoring better news and warning. Someone speaking about you today in bad ways and doesn't know when to stop doing this. They pour out negative energy to communicate with you, and bad news comes to them all the time. Gosh, whoever that is. Bloody hell. Okay, now we have fire sign, we have air sign here. Okay, we have, you know, a female here, let's just call it that way, whether it's, you know, whatever star sign, earth, air, water, whatever, you know, fire, whatever. It does say someone here doesn't want to completely ruin you, but they do know they structure their mind to punish you, and they push you down with negative mental health problems and things that they say or do to make you feel like you have to move forward in that way. They don't want to speak, but they know they can do it because of the things that you do or say, and they don't know how to support everything because they poorly judge why they do it and realize that they can't speak about everything that you go through. Okay. All right. Anything else for Virgos? It does say some of you are dealing with stress-related parenting, or parents that give you struggles, or problems with people that have children that have struggles, and maybe even problems with people that don't give you enough time or even money to help you support who you are. It does say one or two of you know that you can really riddle out the karma or even the struggles from your mind, and maybe even tell yourself that you can't figure out everyone's problems, but you try to move forward in ways that you will, in ways that you could, and the ways that you do through jealousy. At times there is jealousy with a man here that doesn't know how to support you, but probably doesn't want to help you at all. He may not speak to you, but he really wishes that you could harm your mind with things that he's saying or doing. He doesn't know how to stop, but he is never going to be good to you. If you feel like great news can come to you, work on your mind and leave his alone, because he's not going to give you good news. At times he worships problematic situations to war with you, or even give you bad reasons to believe you're not going to be successful, and maybe even punishes you at times to make you war with yourself. At times you believe otherwise, and you protect your spirit and your mind, and things that you are doing certainly wouldn't want to hear that you're not, because you should be doing that. But it does say plenty of people want to see that you are well, so work on your wellness and not warring with your mind about a person that wants to see you in a bad way. Okay, so you've got lots of people that do want to see you in a good way, Virgo. So if you've got one or two people that are really war with themselves to try and harm you, yeah, definitely keep protecting yourself. Definitely keep making sure that you're doing great for yourself, and don't stress too much about this person's quarrels to themselves or in their mind, because they have bad news to justify why. And it does say bad news because they like to see others harmed. It does say warnings are there for them in their own personal life to see that blessings could never come to them, so they certainly won't want to hear it, but they know why they do that, and it's harming you to feel like you have to be their concern or their problem. I.e., you know, like when certain people take their problems out on other people, you know, personal things they're going through in their life, they like to pick on others. I feel like some of these people, you know, that are, you know, contemplating, you know, trying to harm you, because let's just say contemplating, because it's like maybe whatever it is that they do to try, it's not succeeding. Do you see what I'm saying? So they have to keep contemplating how to do it, or maybe even stop, you know. But it does say she knows why she's reached out to you, and she doesn't know where it's going. I know that I could call you anytime and speak to you, but I'm worried. I wouldn't want to hear that you're always calling me, so I wouldn't want to hear that you're going to get good news either. If you try to warn me that it's not going to work, I will hate you. And there is someone else that hates you as well. Could be someone that's controlling, reaching out to you, or maybe even speaking to you one day in the near future, and doesn't want to regret it. This person realizes that they can't speak to you about smoking, drinking, or things that they've had in their mind that they feel like you could be up to. But it does say they wonder why they had to teach you a lesson, and even place you on hold, or even put someone on you to speak to you, but realize it's not going to be you that gets a lot of bad news. It does say why, because this person doesn't realize what's coming to them. Okay, that could be another scenario with someone else. Okay, it does say some of you are dealing with stress related issues and won't want to hear bad news though. So you've got to warn yourself that people are there at times dealing with you with struggles in your mind, legacies of bad news overall. And why would you want to get involved with those type of people? It says wonderful things can happen when you join me in my systematic mind. It doesn't say I'm always bad, but I can cause you problems, and I realize this. I shouldn't have told you things or even tormented you or hurt you to tell me that I had to help you. You are helping me, and I realized when I helped you, you didn't help me, but you really helped me to the point where I harmed you, and I can't speak about it, but I harmed you. This could be an air sign, man. or female. It does say some of you play along with bad news as well, or don't want to hear that it's coming, but it does come out in your mind at times and you can't resist it. At times you really hear it. At times the telephone call that's coming to you is not related to it or even sponsored by it, but you hear other things that are going on with you that could cause concern for your mind and you don't like it. It does say, when I do things, I want to feel that it's going to harm you because I don't want to hear you have great news. Okay, so someone could be controlling that they don't want to frig things up for the matters in their mind, and does work for some type of mental structures that can help you support bad news. It does say warning signs are there for people to not speak about people or even tease them or torment them to go through mental struggles, or even try to bring out the negative in them. It does say sometimes you realize that it's not always going to be you that wants to know this, but people around you want to know that bad news comes out anytime, anywhere. And it does say sometimes you have to realize you've got to stop thinking about it and even do better in your life to see that problems could solve itself and not give you any harm. Maybe even things that you've kept private to yourself or even want to keep within you and don't want to let anyone know about it, but you know that it may harm you later on from the things that you may have done. It says sometimes you've got to judge yourself and make sure you see yourself in a better way or in a better mood and stop laughing at people or making fun of them. At this time you may not want to speak about laughing at anyone or even doing harm to anyone. At this time you may feel like you want to struggle at times with this because you may laugh at people, but at the same time some of you are different. And it does say changing who you are or your federal convictions or even things that you could have possibly hidden does not harm you overall, but you could harm someone or harm someone else's mind through this energy. It does say some of you are dealing with detrimental problems or even weight gain. At times you don't want to know that you are driving into problems with protesters or people because of how you fare or even see things in your mind. You just want to know that you're okay and don't want to speak about it, but you may have spoken about things that you didn't want to hear, and it could be things that you have done or even taken that help you to feel this way. Okay. It says, I know I can call you though, and I want to speak to you one day. I realize I have spoken to you months ago about things that you told me, and I realize I want to speak to you about one thing that you said to me. It does say a man here wants to speak to you about something that he's been told, and he realizes he shouldn't speak to you about it, but he's been told many things that he shouldn't speak to you about, and he wonders why he should call you out and make you feel bad. He lessens his mind times a situation or sees that it's not going to happen at all, taking you back to your mind about problems and how he could harm you. He never wants to harm you, but he realized that if you smoke or drink at times, he will make you feel like bad news comes to you. Okay, I'm picking up a spiritual energy as well for some of you guys that may smoke or drink. Okay, and it does say some of you are dealing with someone here that wants you to feel that way. If it's not a spiritual energy, it could just be someone that makes you feel that way. It could be calling on death spells or dead people, or maybe even people that don't need to hear from you. At times it does say that people right now are going through detrimental spell work, root work, or even punishments with people that are dealing with stress related issues in their own minds and contemplating how they should send you back to their own mental stress, and don't want to see that they're in the way, but they're always causing you harm mentally through the struggles that they've had or even faced in their debts or detrimental times. Some of you are dealing with debt related issues or maybe even feelings of debt. It does say debt has helped to bring out bad news. At times it doesn't want to, but it does bring out bad news. Sometimes debt is a punishment to the mind, and it does help you to see where it's going. It doesn't always say it's good news, and it does warn you that mental stress or structures in your mind could harm you. At times you don't want to believe it, but stress is related to detrimental health problems, and detrimental health problems could lead to death. At times it can, and it does say bad news for you guys if you feel too stressed. Don't speak about it, but stress related issues can lead to death. Okay, so definitely take care of your well-being and your mind. Okay, try to stay calm, don't stress, or find ways to recover from stress quickly. Don't give yourself to problematic situations as much as possible. I know it's not easy sometimes, all right, but if you can avoid them, okay, as much as possible, because I know sometimes they're presented to you through the way, you know, structures are made or set out, you know, in life, through, you know, the means of other people, or just maybe, you know, life, you know, on a whole, you know, things that you've got to go through, or things that you've been through, or things that are presented to you. It does say dealing with death mentalities are there, and it does say people that have died as well could help you pass on to your mind about things that you know. At times you may listen or hear people that speak to you through the dead, okay. Sometimes people may even speak to you through your rituals, or even things that you are doing to spark conversations with things that you already know. It does say warning signs are there for you not to speak to any deaf members of your family. At times they do want to punish you, or even put you back in your mind about things that you have done in your past. Sometimes you have to speak less about people, and it does say warning. If you spoke to dead people recently, it does say bad news, because these people are not always there to help you. But it does say warning, if they don't speak to you, it would be better off than you feeling like they're always going to communicate with you through rituals or spells. It doesn't say you always want to look at people that are spelling out your name through the dead, or even talking to the dead. And at times a parent keeps pushing sentimental energy on you to speak about these things. Warning, some of you are going through it and some of you are not, but there could be one or two of you, or three or four of you, or a long line of you that could be speaking about death energy, or death spells, or death root work, or death magic, or maybe even people of the dead. Okay. All right, so let's see what's going on with work there, guys. It does say some of you are dealing with great news overall, and struggles will never ever be a part of your life. Single parent here doesn't want to hear that she's always left alone, and doesn't want to see you blame yourself, okay, for things that you may not want to do or even be a part of. At times it does say singing and value systems of beauty is there. Certainly wouldn't want to hear that you're always in this, and I will take it away, okay. But I do see there's an earth sign. If it's not you, it could be another earth sign that's doing this, or it could be a problematic air sign that doesn't know how to speak to you, but wants to steal from you, take from you, or even cause you harm with a member of your family. It does say better news with problems in my way, because I like to take advantage of people too much and I hate it. So someone likes to take advantage of people way too much and hates it. But as for your work, because this could be someone that's working on someone is what I'm seeing here, but as for your work, I see there is wishes as well to judge you, or even sponsor you with things that you've got to do, and maybe even tell you off at times, or maybe even speak to you about things that you need to sort out, or maybe even say or do. It does say wonderful things can happen when you work with someone. Obviously the loyalty that you have to someone to do some work is going to be better off than none, and saving yourself from a problem in the next 2 weeks to a month, or maybe even helping you prioritize a victim mentality when you have to caution yourself for a court proceeding, or maybe even cough up some money, or maybe even sell yourself in a way that you've told yourself that you didn't want to. Ideally you wouldn't want to tell yourself that you're going through the same problems as you did in the main reason why you didn't want to go to jail in the first place. It does say bad news if you sponsor the mind of yours, because at times it's not jail, but someone wants to help you to sponsor them in ways that you are billed, okay, i.e. maybe a fine, or maybe even, you know, paying some type of penalty. It does say some of you guys are dealing with a taxpayer, or a liberty taker, or just someone that doesn't know how to sponsor everything, but does know they can take you in your mind to wonder if you're going to be okay, because sometimes it does make you feel stressed, or even down, or even under. But at times you will work on things and make sure your work is studied and looked into in many times over. Great ways, or even good news can come out of it to solve the problems of the man here that doesn't know how to surprise you, but wants mind games to play you at the same time too, because money is something he may need. Mind you, he doesn't need it right now, but later on this year he may need it. So that might sound like some type of taxes, okay, some type of tax paying. It does say sometimes you've got to realize that your taxes is mainly going to be overdue, or maybe even due. At times you need to put away or put aside some money, or maybe even see that you've called someone in advance to speak to them. It does say some of you guys are dealing with sentimental value ships of people messing about with you and don't know how to support yourself in your mind about things that you've said you've wanted to do with your struggles, or even things that you've wanted to structure. At times you don't want people talking about you and telling you that you must do things in the way that you've been told to do it, and then maybe even told that it shouldn't be right. It does say some of you are going through this where someone is trying to harm you, like telling you you must do something and do it in the way that they've told you to do it, but then they mind read in a way where they know they could harm you and make you feel like it's going to be problematic later on for you, just to say that it could be this way to harm you and then make you start all over again. It's like a system that's running, through innocent people that are trying to keep up and learn some type of information here, okay, but may not know how to keep up as fast as some people that want you to because of the way the system is being run, okay, and could drag you down the wrong way because of their deceptive means to harm you. And it does say caution if you do stop and think about why. It does say when you realize it's not going to be worth it sponsoring their mind, it does say it's better off, because sometimes they get it wrong. People get it wrong and they harm people, ideally in a way that they see it's not on purpose, but it is, and they may get it wrong to solve things or help you, but at times they don't and at times they do. And it's just wonderful that you realize this, because it does say some of you are going through mental stresses with your business plans or your work plans, and it does say some of you are dealing with mental stresses from your ideal job, or maybe even things that you want to personally work on or pursue. At times it's hard to get work, or at times it's hard to work on things that you want to support if ideally people structure your plans in bad ways or even in bad news. It does say people get in the way of your plans at times and maybe even support you with blaming you for the problems they set upon you because they wanted to do it in a way that they wanted to do it and not supported you in ways that you wanted to do things. It does say weighing out the pros and the cons are going to be useful to you when you see why it could happen to you. Not seeing that it could happen to you is one reason why you believe that you should support yourself today. If you ideally structure your mind and put yourself back a step and look for things that you could do that are useful to make sure you have mindfully put aside something to help you for later, it's going to pay a way for you to have good karma. So ideally start putting things away for later, even if it's an investment, even if it's some money that you have, or maybe something that you could turn into money to support you. It does say blessed energy is there if you can put things away to save them for later, for the days that you know that you can't support your mind with things that you know that you could support your mind with if you had it. You have to help yourself today by looking for things that you have to support your mind in ways that you have to make payments that are justified in matters of the mind, ideally the mind, because judgment is there for you to say, well, you don't have it, but you could come up with it later on, or maybe even help yourself with it in the time that you need it. At times you need support in your own life and your own home and your own family. It's not fair to say that you don't, because at times you need support with your lifestyle, and when it's there to support you in your lifestyle, it is not going to always be easy to give you something that is going to be hard to deal with. It does say many times over, if you see your lifestyle is not going to be smiling at you in flourishing energy of great fortune, it's not always going to be easy to support you with bad judgment either. So what I'm picking up with this is, okay, if there is some struggles, okay, there is some people that do understand this and they do know that they can support you, because they know they need to understand that your well-being is structured in a way that you are supporting your family and your lifestyle, where you're not struggling, even though you may be trying to support your work and your business, where you might have to cough up some payments for bills or even taxes, okay. And it does say over time you can think about things that you can support, where you can afford to pay those things. But it does say mental stress can be there to support how you can go about this. Until the time comes, you've got to look into when you can support yourself, okay, and how you can support yourself, and look mental in your mind about things, because sometimes it's tiring or stressful going through the same problem over and over again each year, trying to adjust to the systematic systematic policies, and even overdue rent. It does say rent arrears could build up if this person doesn't support you. Okay, so I don't know if there's someone here that needs to support you, okay, and you don't want rent arrears to come up, you know, maybe because of a job, or maybe even because of you know, a spouse, a partner. And it does say, poor you, if you don't realize that you're going down a road that could harm you as well through your work, maybe the way it's structured or even patterned. Ideally, if it's communicating with you that it's not going to be stable, ideally it's just, you know, stable work can help you to pay your rent. Stable work can help you to pay off your mortgage. Stable work can help you to, you know, commit to your commitments, okay, with things that you know that you need to pay. But commission work can sometimes lead to failure. But it does say blessed energy is there to not have to give you that problem. It does say why, because we realize that plenty of work is here for you to solve, and if you solve the work, it's going to pay you enormously. Okay, so some of you guys are getting payments in enormous abundance when it comes to your commission work, okay, freelance work, working self-employed. Okay, and it does say sometimes it can harm you though, so be warned that it will harm you sometimes if it does make you feel like there's bad news, because there is structures here to support you with problems that could come up or even arise, or make you feel like bad news can come to you. Sometimes it's not you or even the punishments that you get from work, but people around you that may want payments, and maybe overdue payments that could come up that make you feel like bad news is coming. So watch out for certain bad news as well with overdue payments. Make sure you've, you know, taken care of, you know, overdue payments as much as possible. Okay, it does say sometimes reeling out the pros and the cons are easy for you to do now, because before you may not have had good karma, but warning signs are there for you to still look into, and how you can make payments today with sentimental value ships of when I'm going to get my money. Ideally, it could be a payment issue that's coming up with a court due or court or legal battle to face. It does say some of you are already or aware of this, and maybe even see that it's not obviously going to be ideal to pay everyone, but it does say you have to wonder when you can pay it, and you will smart and see that you will pay it as you would like to pay this bill, and you don't want to see bad news come to you with those bad overdue payments. Okay, all right, so let's see what's going on with business. Business is going to be the best thing you ever had in a long time. Certainly wouldn't want to hear that it's not. It's very good, and it does say blessings are coming and on its way to you. Very good work is on its way to you, and blessed energy is now here for you to support, and many times over give yourself great news with your mind and love life, and maybe even certainly a family. It does say family because we like to pride ourselves over family when we support people around us. It does say great news can help you to move past negative mental stresses with your mind about who we are, but at times we do see that we want to support you with money, lots of money, and people want to help you with this now as well. It does certainly give you more time to wonder if you should have spoken about someone, or maybe even told them off, or even told them that they had good news coming. It does say wonderful things can happen with you now, and it does say blaming someone else is not going to be the answer, but warning signs are there for someone shutting up, or maybe even seeing that it's not going to be worth it until she starts working. It does say warning, if this man doesn't stop speaking about you and telling you off, or telling you that you're no good, or can't sing, or even dance, or even speak, or even work, or have good news, or have good things, it does say warning, because what if you've had blame no more? And you had blame. Someone was trying to blame you for the things that you had or not had, and disliked you even when they pretended that they liked you. And warning, if this person doesn't speak to you no more, it's because their fellowship is further from the truth. It does say father figure as well. Didn't want to see that you could always have great news, but at times wondered if you could, and wondered if you could see what could happen to you later on. This mind game he played was never going to be easy for you, but at times he wonders, when will you get good news if I can't give you what it is that you want? I know that I couldn't give you everything, and I noticed that I couldn't give you everything that you needed. At times I realized that I should have supported you, and I couldn't probably give you enough support in your mind with things that you needed. I know this, I just don't know how to support my mind today. Okay, so if this person doesn't know how to support their mind today, maybe it's because you're older now, Virgo, or maybe this person has passed away. Okay, and it does say, mentally speaking, this person may have not murdered themselves or killed themselves, but they justified why they needed to be spoken about, or maybe even told off, or saw a good reason to believe that their judgment day had come, and maybe even finally told you that it wasn't going to be great for you to be good in your mind about things that you was going to do in your own mind. It says the judgment day came along for this person, and he may wither and even fall, but it does say you have blessed energy now to support your mind with problems that you see that are no longer yours. You see that you have great news overall with your life, and it doesn't say that you have bad. Work on why you need to moan some more. At times you realize that it's not you that is harmed, but a parent that may have harmed you and didn't speak of you in high favors, or even forgive you for things that you may have done to harm them. At times this mind is not going to be available to you, but he knows that he shouldn't have told you off or even caused you harm, with letters sent to you from the government to help you with poor judgment of what's going to happen to you later on this year, this month, or even this moon cycle. It does say moon cycle because the punishments that come to you are not good. It does say bad news for this mind or man. It does say bad news because warning signs are there for you to see, that you read a lot about things that could sponsor you through mental structures of great gravities and good news, and at times not the smart-minded person that you are. Maybe it's because he doesn't realize that he's always stroking his ego with bad news, and he may not see you anymore, but he's tired and he wonders if he can see you or not see you, but he's moving on. Spirit has blessed you and karmically giving you gentle mental stress and no longer bad news from his mind, and he will see that punishments move on and struggle to move on, but at times he needs to move on. I feel like there could be a parent here that has passed and his spirit is still around you in some way, but apparently he needs to move on. Okay, it does say warning signs. If you feel that there is a shift or a lift inside you, it is me. I have left you now. I'm going to stop speaking to you. I have caused you harm, but I love you and I just can't see you in a bad way. I really love you and I don't want to see you in a bad way. You war with me. You war with me, and at times I don't want to war with you, but I war with you. And I realize I need to stop speaking to you. I'm not speaking to you. I will not speak to you. Okay, so maybe your spiritual father has been warring with you and he doesn't want to speak to you anymore. He feels like maybe you've warred with him too much. Okay, and this is only for those that have a father that have passed. Okay, it does say some of you are dealing with many times over a death threat to your personality through a problematic father, but it does say some of you guys are dealing with problems in your mind that you can no longer have on your conscious. You don't want to see that you are in detrimental ways through parents or even problematic systems of the justice system or government system. It does say you blame no one, and you don't want to keep blaming people for what has happened to you. It does say when you go through things, you want to see that blessed energy comes, and you can't structure your mind in ways that you have blame. You don't want to see that blame comes. You have to look for better news in your mind, and you feel like blame is no longer going to be given to you if you work on your ways. Try and tidy up your mind some more and make sure you look good in the justice system one day if you need to support judgment. It does say judgment is there for anyone, and it does say warning, you can have justify a situation or even need to see that blessings come, but judgment is there for when you realize it's not going to be good for you to play a mind game. At times the mind games that you've played are not always bad, and it does say you realize it could happen to you anytime when people push their judgment on you for forces of your own, or maybe even forces of your fine ass family. It does say fine because they are fine, and no one knows why someone keeps trying to struggle with punishments for you all the time, or even over the years, because of justice systems wanting to see that you are not fine. You are fine, but no one should see that you are not fine, and maybe that's why you have many times overseen that you are not fine, or maybe even fine, because it does say that someone here wouldn't want you to know that you are fine, and at times you are fine and you realize this, but you wonder why spirit always says you're not fine. It does say people want to see you harm, Virgo, but it does say, Virgo, you have to look for crisis within you to solve the situation. It says, when you realize that you have, you will see past the problem and see blessings come. Some of you are dealing with blessings and obviously don't want to hear that bad news comes to you. Wondering when you obviously get married or even murdered. At times people want to see bad news come to you anyhow they can. It says, when the mind games are played with some of you, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't. But people have heard that they don't want to harm you. They just see that they could if you are weak or feeble. It does say weak and feeble minds don't always get good news, but at times it is stress that people give you. And caution, if you are stressed to the point death is coming, don't speak, but it is not going to be you. Special needs problems are there to support you or even put you down. At times they want to see you put down. But it does say when you see this, don't speak. Just wither away from the mind games of the minds of peoples that want to see this happen. It does say mentally saying so, because someone here would rather see you harmed or in a gentle mental place or even bad minded or even hurt if they could. But it does say warning, if you see blame, it is not your blame. It is a pastor or a preacher or a parent or someone that wants to put you down. It does say some of you are dealing with people that want to see this in your own communities or even in your own jobs or even in your own life. Some of you are dealing with negative mental structures of people around you that don't want to see you blessed. At times don't want to see you blessed. Whether or not you sold yourself to a problematic situation that could give you gifts to bless you and really help you pass the situation, at times people don't want to see you blessed. And people said that to me. It says, my word, people said I don't bless them. Okay, now this could be a pastor or it could just be a person that you know or don't know, or maybe even someone that has riddled you with things that you thought could bless you and maybe doesn't know how to bless you. It does say some of you are going through sentimental, systematic feelings or even things that you never knew could happen with a child or a family member, or maybe even a personal trait that, like your in-laws, your brothers, your mothers, your sisters, or a friend, or maybe even a family member, or even personally a person that you have to join in a systematic valueship. It does say some of you are dealing with family that you don't know how to pretend with at times, but you want to give them everything. And you know that you want to sponsor them and give them good news, but they have to support you with good news too. And it does say many times over, if you help them, you don't see great news overall, but at times you try to help them to see better news with their minds. Really seeing that they're not going to give you problems, and sponsoring you with better news would be the outcome that you desire. Even when they don't understand or really see you for what it is that you need. At times they just want to see harm there. And it doesn't say that it's good, but they have to look past the energies of harm and move past the bad news, so they can try to harm you again. But it does say harming you again is something that they do. And it does say warning, if they keep doing this, one day they'll see their blessings come in harm. It does say bad news for children or family members that keep harming you. One day they will realize that the harm is there for them too. They have to see that they don't need to harm you and move past it so they don't see harm come to you. And maybe even with their own minds one day when they see their struggles come to them. Okay. All right. So let's see what's going on with love life. Oh, wait a minute. It does say serving you with a court finance is going to be a problem in the next week or two. Someone may want to serve you with some type of court finance. So watch out for that. Okay, someone could be judging you about working on whether or not you're going to pay up some money. It does say warning, if this person can wait, they will get good karma. Okay, so let's see what's going on. And maybe this person has, you know, some regrets with that. Maybe they've waited for a while. It does say they contemplate whether or not they'll see you ever. But it does say warning, they will get paid. They just have to wait, and they have to sponsor their mind to think about what it is they've issued you, or how long, or even how much, because at times you can't even afford to speak about what it is that they're trying to give you in regards to getting a payment. You have to sponsor when they're going to get the payment, but you also have to let them know that you've tried. You just don't know when to sponsor their mind with things that you know that you can afford versus what you cannot afford, and how you can support the situation. Okay, now I know sometimes when I speak to people, they're like, well, this person's rich, that person. Not everybody, okay, that is rich, okay, is debt free. Remember that. Okay, all right, some people have to pay out huge debts. All right, huge debts. Okay, there is some people that are millionaires and they still got huge debts that they still can't even pay, my lovely. So it just depends on the person's circumstance, situation, and what they've been through. All right, no matter how rich or poor you are, everybody goes through their own kind of debts. Okay, so let's see what's going on with love life. What's going on with love life? What's going on with love life for Virgos? Love life is certainly blessed energy. Overall stress is there, but people will see that no nonsense policies are there for you. You really agree that you have to work and give yourself blessed energy no matter what. Stress is not going to be the answer for anyone's judgment or even warning you that you should be under pressure to have bad news. Don't speak if you don't have anything good to say is what you warn people, and let them realize that they don't have to speak at all. They can communicate and not speak at all, and at times they can communicate and not say anything, but at times they warn themselves not to speak. So right now it could be a good idea for you to say, well, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear that you've got bad news, but I would rather not hear any bad news, and I just want to justify why I have to speak to myself a lot about people, because I'm warning myself if I hear bad news again, I am timing the situation or seeing who it is, and I don't want to hear that bad news come. So please speak less to me about your problematic situations, or even when I am going to be furnished in the mental health institution where you want to place me. It does say ideally someone wants to see you there, and it does say warning if you saw the problem early, then you realize who it is. It does say bad news for a warning sign of a person. It does say warning because someone doesn't really understand you. And it does say many times over someone may have cursed you, or maybe even placed you under their thumb, or even the news that they received, they cursed you, or even told you off, or maybe even told you that you was unwell. It does say some of you are dealing with people like this, and at times you are not. And at times you warn yourself whether or not you should say hello to anyone that speaks to you in bad ways. At times it doesn't say bad ways, at times it does. But time after time, you've got to give your mind to others that deal with you in punishment. Motivational speaking is something that you've done. Helping many people to sponsor who they are is something you realize that you could do. But warning, if someone else feels like they are better than you, at times they feel like they could do it better, or even please their mind to speak less to you but curse you and karmically riddle you, or even probably give you a problem. They realize that they shouldn't speak to you in bad ways, and caution, if they have done so, they will reel out their revenge one day when they see their wrath. It does say the wrath of theirs is coming, and it does say bad news for whoever keeps cursing you or probably putting spells or curses on you. They don't need to do this, and they need to sponsor why they're doing it in their mind to support their own mind. Whether or not they see it, you see it, but you don't want to hear that it's a problem constantly ongoing. And you well done yourself with good karma to see that it's not going to be you with bad news, but you warn yourself, don't speak to me if you're going to riddle me with bad enemies or bad energy. I don't want to hear that you're always cursing me when I'm trying to support my mind, or even problematic situations with my family. I don't want to hear that you're always going to curse me and even tell me off, or maybe even tell me I must tidy my mind or even put myself back into good karma when I know that you're trying to harm my head with things that I know I already have to do. I've got to do things in the way that I know and I see fit. I realize I'm going to do them anyway. It's just that if you keep pushing me to do things in a way that you're probably giving me spells in my mind to help me do things, it's not always going to be the answer. And caution, if you already know that you're doing this, stop speaking to me. I'm not going to speak to you, but I realize you're not going to harm me all the time. You can't harm me all the time, and I've got to give myself great news to support who I am. Personally, wouldn't want to hear that I'm in a problem or helping myself in problems with your mind. I've got to help my mind through structures of stress, less energy and good karma coming in, and to support that I need punishments no more to support my mind. If you're punishing me, let it be known that it is dying out soon, or even November. I have to make sure it ends. Okay, so if you feel like someone's been trying to punish your mind or trying to structure your mind for you with their spells or their root work or things that they've been doing to curse you, Virgos, okay, you may know or may not know who's doing it, but it does say you wonder why it keeps happening or why someone keeps doing that to you. It does say anytime you feel like it is happening, you've got to curse the energy or send it back, or maybe even see that it doesn't come to you at all, or possibly even see that it's not going to be making you feel like you're run down, ill, stressed, or down on negative bended knees trying to support your mind through bad news. It doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel nice, and you would rather not speak about it, but you wonder why it keeps happening, and you laugh because you don't want it to be there, but it can't stop itself. You've got to realize why a reason to believe you have good karma is not always good. It doesn't say it's always you, but someone here wants to see that it's not good. And that's the reason why. There's someone that sees that they shouldn't speak to you, but they've placed you on hold with mental stress. And they know why they did this because they spoke about this with a pastor. And it does say the pastor knows a lot about why they've been doing this to you. Okay. So let's see what's going on. And that's not for everyone, obviously. And sometimes the pastor may come out as another type of person. But some of you guys may be dealing directly with someone that's speaking to a pastor, or someone that does, you know, maybe this person's a warlock, or, you know, some type of magician, or, you know, witch doctor, you know, whatever it is. Maybe, yeah. So let's see what's going on with what's going on with your love life. Love life is sex, and very much so, lots of sex, but someone wants to hear that though. Okay, and it doesn't say it's you that wants to hear it, but someone realized it's not going to be you that gets a lot of good karma until the new year. It does say spirit wonders when you will realize that sex is something that is not always going to be ideal, but at this time you may not want to know that you're in love or even having a sexual relationship. At times sex is going to be blessed energy for you, and you'll get good karma with your mind when you get it. It does say warning, you do have to have sex sometime, but at times you don't want to know that you're having sex in your mind with someone else. At times you will know that you're having sex with someone else, or wonder when it's going to stop that you speak about it. It does say sometimes the sex energy doesn't come about all the time, but merciful people in your mind are telling you that sex has to be the answer. It does say many times over a man or female wants to know that they're having sex, but it doesn't say always you want to know that sex is the answer. Certainly need to say hello to whoever it is that's speaking to you about sex. This person may not want to know that they're speaking to you about sex. They just know that they want to have sex with you. And it doesn't say when you want to have sex, because at times you're tired, or you're really hungry, or maybe even seeing that you don't want to speak about sex. It does say sex is something that someone may have sent to you as a spell or even a message, but someone doesn't want to even say that they want to have sex all the time. It does say some of you are dealing with sexual mental health, or maybe even problems in your mind about people that just want to have sex. It does say many times over you want to see that your love life is certain, but ideally right now it is sex. No one wants to see each other or even help each other other than the mind telling them, well, it is sex. I don't want to help you, but I want to help myself with knowing that I can have sex. Okay, so right now someone just wants to know, well, you know, when are we having sex? It's not really about, you know, what's going on with the relationship right now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe people are doing their own thing right now and can only sponsor the idea of sex. It does say contemplating what's going on is good, but someone here wants to see that blessings can come to you through sex. Ideally, it does say when you feel like you want to have sex, call me. I want to tell you off though, so that you can stop feeling like you could come to me when you want to. I don't want to hear that you're always there, but you could have sex with me one day, and I wouldn't want to hear that you're not. But I know that you want to, and I realize that you want to have sex with me, so come and get it. Someone feels like you want sex with them. It could be a water sign person, it could be a fire sign person, it could be an earth sign person. But it does say someone here wants to have sex, or is contemplating you having sex with them. It does say some of you are dealing with someone that doesn't want to hear that they're having sex. But it does say you don't even have to feel like you're having sex with someone. You just know that you're not having sex with anyone right now. At times you don't even want to know you're having sex, and speak less about it. But if you do want to have sex, you realize it's going to be you that has the sex, and not someone that you've sent away in your mind to say, well, you'll have sex. No one will want you. And it does say warning, some of you guys that are speaking about a person and telling them, well, they're not going to have a great love life, or maybe even a good relationship due to just sex. It does say when you realize that you are the one that has laughed at your smile about who you are and how you deal with things, let that be known as you're justified, because no one's saying that you need to speak to someone about the sex that they're seeing or even having when they're not having sex with anyone. But at times you realize that you're not going to support your mind with your personal home, or even hygiene, or even problematic situations. At times it is you, Virgo, that doesn't know how to support your mind with problems, and at times it is you that has no problem at all telling me that I have a problem. I know I can have sex when I feel like it. And it doesn't say you're dealing with anyone other than treatments in your mind to say that you have good news. At times you want to know that you're not speaking about sex, or maybe even saying that you have sex. At times you just don't want sex, and maybe you realize that you just don't need sex. At times you just don't want to know that you're having sex, and you just don't want to know that you're dealing with any sexual partner. At times you feel like you've got problems in your mind to face, or maybe even seeing that sex is not something that you need right now. It's just not justified as someone that helps you with your mind to know that you can help yourself with things that you know that you can help yourself with anyway. Rather not have sex at this time, just rather not have sex. You know that sex is not going to deem you necessary to things that you're going to support in your mind, where you could already hone in on those things and make sure the sex that you have inside yourself, maybe even touching yourself, feeling yourself, or maybe even saying that you just don't have it at all, can help you. It says sometimes you want to know that you can move forward with a personal partner, and maybe even know that your partner is not there. Or at times you realize that your partner is not available to you right now because your sexual partner is not going to dress up and make you feel good, or maybe even want you to feel like you have good news, because at times they are working on who they are, or even looking at things that they have done or not done, or even seeing that they're down and out or miserable, or not feeling sad, but maybe even satisfying someone else, or maybe even mimicking someone else, or maybe even seeing that they don't want to know anything more than just sex. So it does say some of you guys are dealing with a partner or a person that just wants sex, and some of you guys just don't want to have sex. Okay, whether you're celibate or you just don't feel like it right now, or maybe your person's not available right now for sex, whatever the scenario could be. Okay, it does say some of you are living out of your mind about things that you want, maybe even seeing that you have structured your mind with great news. Don't want to hear that you have great news overall with your lover. Don't really want to hear that bad news comes to them either, but I hate the hell out of you telling me that you've got to have love life someday. Now there could be someone that doesn't want to see you happy. All right, now this could be a fire sign. It doesn't say that they want to see you happy with your love life at times. And it does say bad news for if you are dealing with anyone that is jealous of you in your love life, because they still don't want to give you a love life. But it does say warning, if you see that you have problems with your person, don't speak about it. Allow the situation to unfold naturally if you stay there or even be with the person, because you really see that you could have blessed energy with them in other ways, and that's the reason why you may stay with them. But at times you realize that you don't want to have sex, or maybe even see that you do have sex but you just don't want to know that you're having sex with that partner. At times you don't even know which way to go to support your mind with the partner that you've had sex with. At times you may realize that you want sex but you don't want to see that blessed energy comes to you and your person through the energy of sex. At times you realize that you just don't want to have sex, and maybe that's all it is. And sometimes you just understand that sex is not always going to be the answer for a relationship. And it does say many times over you realize that sex can come and sex can go, but the mind games that you play with other things that you need to support your love, they're more so mentally justified for you to want to know that sex could be a part of it or not a part of it, just depending on how you see the situation. All right, let's see what's going on with singles. What's going on with singles? Singles are not really having time in their mind to wonder if sex is going to be good to them or not. At times it is much needed, and at times it is much nicer or even not so nice. And it does say sometimes you realize it's not worth it. It doesn't say that it's going to be good energy overall for you to see that you have blamed anyone. When you want to see that you have sex, you can take your time and see it. At times you just don't want to know that it's there. At times you'd rather be single or see that your mind is telling you off, you've got other things to do. Sometimes you just don't want to know that you've got things to do. You've got things to take care of in your mind, or even things that you have to pay attention to, or even play along with, or even pay. At times you just want to see when things are going to work out for you overall, and solid ventures in your mind can solve the situations for you, or maybe even participate in great news. Ideally, you want to see that blessings can come and work out just fine, so you don't want to pay attention to the bad. And you realize that if you have sex too much, it does disturb your mental structure, or even the clarity that you have to move past things. You just want to see that you're personally looking forward to blaming no one and don't have sex to give anyone. At times you just want to look for blessings and work on your war, or your mind, or when you're going to get paid, or when you're going to look forward to greater things to come. Okay. So, anything else? It does say some of you are dealing with many times over a plain old Jane energy, or maybe even parenting, or maybe even things that you are doing to support your mind with things that you've got going on. It does say some of you guys are dealing with your punishments in your mind about things that you just don't want and things that you do want. And at times you realize that your family is not always helpful to you in the way that you see things or think about things. You just wonder if parenting is going to be the answer for you at times, in a way that you always see that you are just plain old Jane, wanting to be mum, or wanting to be a father, or wanting to be a parent, or even single, and not seeing that you have problems. It's just justifying that you want to be alone and single, and maybe even helping yourself through problematic sex or circumstances that don't even arise in your mind. At times, single man here doesn't know how to support you, but may want to see you as a sex slave or a sex partner. He may not even look for you at times, but he's not going to give you anything to support your mind other than sex. He realizes he's not helping you with anything, and he doesn't want to see anything for you, but he does look for sex a lot. And he doesn't even know how to support mind games of his own to support the sex. But he realizes that the sex is not always going to be gentle, or even gentle in the way that you want it, or it is, but it's just not in the way that you need it mentally. At times you want stimulation in the private area, or maybe even in the area of your mind that you want to see sexes come into you and bless you and grant you with in good news. And you want to see that blessings can come to you and support you with things that you want to put on your path to say that you are in love, or maybe even in love with your mind, or even in love with his, or even in love with hers, or even in love with anything that you can say that it is good to you to be mindful about the way you have sex. Sometimes sex is very, very good, and sometimes it's not so great. So at this time, you may not want to see yourself in the mood to have sex, or at this time, you may be in the mood to have sex. It just depends on which way you're going with your mind. All right, so let's see what's going on with let's see what's going on with those that are in a relationship. Those in a relationship see sexual partners a lot and realize that they don't want to speak, but cheating is something they wonder if it's going to be good for them to do. At times they would rather not see that they are cheating, or even speaking to married men or married women, or even seeing that they can have the lover that they want. At times they see their marriage going downhill. At times you may not want to know it's going downhill, so you rather not see that it's going to be a bad thing. At times you just want to know if your person is going to be happy overall, and suddenly you see that blessings can come to you. It says some of you are dealing with a lot of different atmospheres of family, and maybe even partnering up, or maybe even situations where you don't want to see bad news come to you. You love yourself, so you're not going to want to see bad news, and you're not going to single yourself out to see bad news. You will try to find people around you that see you for who you are, or even war with you in your mind about who you are. At times you wonder where it is going with people right now and how they support you with the ideas that you have. Very regularly you wonder what goes on with your spouse or your partners, or even situations that you see and you don't want to agree upon. At times you laugh at situations too, or make fun of them. At times you may not even want to see if a person is going to be honing in on problematic situations, or even building bridges in your life, or becoming a personal traitor. It does say some of you guys realize you don't have to deal with your person if they don't want to see you in the ways that you see them. You just want to see that hoeing you is not going to be the answer. You may not see it, but someone here realizes you're not supporting them and don't want to make them proud through your spiritual, sexual, problematic situations in your mind anymore. You don't want to see that you have problems in your mind to deal with. You don't want to see that you have sexual problems. You want to see that blessed energy comes to you, and you don't want to see that sex is always going to be a sin, or even seen as a bad energy to you. You just want to see pleasant energy with the vaginal structure, or even mindset, or maybe even things that I've ignored. I try to wonder what's going on with you. So I'm picking up someone else's energy chiming in there, where it does say a person wants to know what's going on with you with your sex, or maybe even why you don't give it to them as much as you used to. It does say the man here doesn't realize why you want to not have sex. And it does say some of you guys are dealing with a man that doesn't even know how to give you good sex, or maybe knows how to give you very good sex but doesn't know how to see you often, or sleep with you often, or stay with you often, or be with you often, or even take the time to pleasure you in other things. Some of you are dealing with mental stresses of the person that had come out of who he was, and maybe even saw himself as a bad mood person, or maybe even a hoish type of person. He doesn't want to see you as a person that's going to be a homeowner, or maybe even a person that loves you. So this person could be a jealous person, maybe Jezebel spirit, or maybe even a person that has homes but doesn't really want to show you. At times he does show you, but sometimes he does not want to see you. At times he may not even invite you over to his place. At times he may invite you, but you don't know if he's got females coming round when you're not there. It says some of you are dealing with so much different people right now, you don't even know who you're dealing with individually, that is not, you know, like, some of you could be in multiple different relationships, but some of you guys are dealing with, you know, individuals with those different kind of traits going on, you know. And it does say some of you guys are dealing with people that don't want to see you as a partner. And at times you may feel like you're a partner, but you're not even a partner. And you may not wonder why it is happening, but people don't want to see problems in their relationship, and they try to avoid relationships. Okay, so even if you think you're in one and you think, oh, hold on, my person's acting funny, or they're treating me like as if, you know, they don't care about me, it's because they've got commitment issues. You know, they've got problems with relationships. They don't want problems in relationships, or they're scared of trying to solve problems in relationships, so try to dismiss that energy. And it does say warning signs are there for you to see why it's hidden now, that people don't want to have relationships as much as they used to, and don't want to hide the fact that they do like to be like this and show you who they are, whether or not you see it or not, or even understand it. It does say you see it a lot. At times you wonder if it's going to be worth it that you're in a relationship. Okay, and it doesn't say warning yourself to have one or even be in one, but at times you wonder who your person could be and where they are, and don't want to know that you're crying or even lying to yourself about having a good relationship. At times you just see that it's not worth it. You'd rather see that you're single and ready to mingle, or even tell yourself that you have blessed energy, and don't want to hear that you have problems. You just rather see that blessed energy comes to you through failed I'm hearing like fail, so I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's someone saying that you're a failure when it comes to your love life. Okay, because someone is trying to help you work on some stress, and maybe it could even be past stress, or maybe even ideas, okay, of someone here that is trying to trust that they don't know how to push you enough, but they should have pushed you when they had a chance to do so. This person doesn't know how to support you, but they have problems with people right now, speaking about negative mental health, and even trying to harm you with plans to come in and speak to you. It does say warning, if you speak to someone directly, they will tell you this, but it does say warning, this person may not speak to you, but directly they need to, because someone here is trying to call you or even speak to you right now, or maybe even today, or even later on this month, to let you know that someone here wants to teach you a lesson. It does say many times over you need to speak to someone to understand why. This person does not want to help you with problems though, and it doesn't say that it is good news overall. It does say you see someone for who they are, and hell to the no, it does say bad news can come to this person when they don't get good news about bad news that you are going through. So it does say warning, if you see someone that keeps trying to punish you or tell you that bad news is coming, warning, let this person mean what they say to run off and move on, because you can see that there's someone here that's trying to harm you anyway. And it does say wonderful things can happen when you understand things on your own. It does say sentimental values of a family member that doesn't really want to know you or speak to you anymore tries to karmically push you down in your mind about problems that you've had in the past. It does say when you realize that you don't need to hear more about it, you just need to know why this person keeps talking about it. It does say wonderful, because this person wants to write to you or speak to you or even sing to you or even hear from you, or maybe even tell you off about things that you've had going on. It does say warning, if you are juggling females, it does say some of you are juggling females, and it doesn't say obviously you're all juggling females, but one or two of you may dish out the dirt on people in your mind, and maybe even tell them off through your mind, or maybe even say that you shouldn't have a good life through your mind, or maybe even tell them falling off of the mind games that you've had in your own way could maybe even help you deal with things in the own ways that you have. So what I'm picking up with that is like you want to see people hurt because you've been hurt, and that's for some of you, not all of you. Okay, so don't take it personal. If you understand, you understand. If you don't, you don't. It is what it is. But it does say some of you are dealing with people that don't want to see people in a good way, and ideally it is not good to speak about it or even see it or even like seeing it in yourself at times, because you may not even justify for the fact that you're doing this, but you know you're doing it. And it does say when you realize that you have great news following the structures or the systematic value system of others, you will see that blessed energy comes to you. Nurturing yourself is always going to be good. Contemplating what to do with these. I want to know what to do with these. I'm picking up someone's energy again. I'm sorry for laughing. Someone wants to know what to do with their minds about what they have for you. Maybe even sex slave or sex partner, or what it is that they had in the mind of yours, or maybe even in the mind of theirs. They just want to know what's going on with you and wonder when it's going to happen for you that you have good karma. It does say wondering when you had good karma before. Some of you could be contemplating as well what someone's doing with some condoms. Okay, I'm seeing that, and has struggled to see that it's going to be used, or even has it been used too much. But it does say some of you are dealing with this and some of you are not. But some of you wonder what happened to the person, or maybe even see that the person's there and don't want to see that they're struggling, but they could move on anyway. And it does say warning, if you see blessed energy, just move on past it. Good karma is there with you anyway. Taking you out later on this week would be no harm to me. I want to know that I could take you out. So someone here could want to take you out, whether this is you Virgos that want to take someone out, okay, or whether someone here wants to take you out, because someone wants to take you out. It does say taking you out is no big deal. If I realize that I could take you out and still have good karma coming, but I warn myself, I can't have good news with you if you don't want to dress up for me, or even take me in my mind at times and say we're having good karma with sex. So I'm picking up here that someone just doesn't want to have sex, okay? And someone's like kind of worried that, hold on a minute, this person don't even want to have sex. So why should I take them out? And it's nothing for this person to take out another person, but it's like using that as a way to get sex. It's like, you know, well, I could take you out, but you don't even want to have sex with me. So what's the point me dating you if you don't even want to have sex with me? You know, but that could be because you could be going through something. If this person took the time to understand you for who you are and what you need, or maybe this person already knows what it is that you are and what you need, okay, depending on your scenario or situation, okay, they could understand that it could be blessed or cursed, where, all right, they're not going to get what they want, so they can move on and find someone else that, you know, please them. Or they could wait for your wishes or whatever it is to be met, you know, your desires. All right. Or maybe even some of you guys, because I understand there's so many different scenarios, okay? Because there is some people that, you know, have, you know, medical problems where they can't, you know, have sex with a person because of their medical history or the medical problems that they go through. Okay, and then that's some reasons why a third party might even, you know, take on the energies of replacing what the person, you know, that can't help the other person. You know, the third party could come in and help to replace that energy. Okay, so I know there's all different scenarios, okay, but what I'm picking up here is someone feels like they shouldn't feel no way to take you out. It's not a bad thing. Maybe in the past this person could have felt indifferent. Maybe this person didn't want to take you out, and now this person they're sitting down thinking, well, you know, I could take you out, but I'm not gonna get any, you know. And it doesn't necessarily mean sex. For some of you guys it could be for some of you guys, it could actually just be addressing a situation that you may have discussed or not discussed with your person through a perspective of theirs, like things that they want and they can't get from you, okay? Mentally, verbally speaking, okay? Physical, you know, like physical giving and receiving in some type of way of something that you've both discussed or the person wants from you, okay? That person could want something from you and maybe they're feeling like you're not in the mindset to give it to them, okay? Or vice versa, they're not in the mindset to give it to you, okay? All right, so let's see what else is going on for Virgos. Anything else? It does say poor judgment is there. not really much. But it does say ready or not, you've got to feel like you are walking away from problematic situations, and you do address everything that you can support with many things that you can think of. At times you just don't know where to go to get the support from your person. At times you don't even know which way to go to get the support from your person, but you do see you walk away from things and you do laugh at it or make fun of it, but at times you don't, and you realize that studying a situation can help you, maybe even certainly realizing the person's not ready for you, or even to support your needs or your desires. At times they do, and at times they just walk away. At times they wonder what could happen to you if they just walked away from your answers, or even things that they felt like you needed or wanted. At times you wonder why this person does that, and you realize it's not good for them to do that, because it doesn't make you feel good overall, but it does make you realize that you could do the same thing too. Some of you guys may be doing this as well to someone, and it does say warning, some of you guys are stroking your ego way too much when you're helping another person through sexual mental stresses. At times they don't need it or even want to deal with it, or even want to hear that they're going through just a single factor of love making sessions, not really wanting to know that they're just meant for that, just used for sex, i.e., or even seeing that sex is just going to be the answer to the relationship and nothing else. Warning sign though, you may have a lot of family members that you deal with. At times you have children, or you may feel like you are giving a lot to your family members and don't have time to give your person whatever it is that they need, or everything that they need. At times you realize that you can't cope with everything that you've got going on. Okay, at times you realize that you just need support with everything that you need to be supported with. Finances, money, that type of thing, and you may be contemplating how to solve the situations with your friends or your family member, or even frenemies that don't want to see you happy. Okay. All right, okay. Someone here wants to take you out and doesn't know how to speak to you. This person may mean well to you but doesn't know how to talk to you. Liar, liar. This mind game is being played. He says he knows he wants to take you out, and he wants to murmur things to you to let you know that you're going to be sponsored with this. It doesn't say that it's working though, because he hasn't spoke to you directly or even communicated that he's going to do this, but he may have, and he may have told you that he's doing this. And on the weeks you haven't said that you are working, or maybe even supporting you to see that he is going to do this, he may just justify taking you out and seeing you, and maybe taking you out for lunch, dinner, or maybe even making love to you one day. At times it does make things hard for this person to mimic you, because he doesn't know if he should sponsor the idea of being like you or being like him. He just wonders whether or not you'll see him for who he is and practice good karma with yourself, and at times not see him at all, because it does say he wonders why he doesn't see you at all. He does, because he does live far away, or at times he lives by you but doesn't know how to support everything he's going through. He may justify bad news or things that he may never ever be able to give you. At times he may even see that he has problems with a female child, or maybe even fathering another supportive family member. Okay, and it does say some of you are dealing with stress related issues from the past, or people that still want to come in and don't know how to support you with the hell no that you gave them, telling them, look, we're not together anymore. And it does say speak less about it, but it does say warning signs are there just to let you know this person may be lingering around in your spirit still, or circling you, or wanting you still, or wanting to be yours, or wanting you to be his, and can't wait to see you again. Okay, all right, let's see what else is going on. All right, let's see what's going on with marriage. Okay, marriage is going to be very, very good for you one day, but it's not going to be with me. It does say warning, if this water sign man or woman, depending on who it is, doesn't stop speaking to you, it does say bad news, because you don't want to hear that they're always going to be a problem. It does say you've blessed yourself enough with a wedding vow, or even things that you told yourself you could get, and one day you realize that it could happen. It doesn't say it's bad news though, so warn off whoever's telling you that you can't get good karma. It says your love life is yours, certainly not going to please you in your mind with whatever's going to happen behind the scenes, or if negative jealousy doesn't remove itself from your mind or your life. Okay, so what's going on with those that are in a marriage, okay, or getting married? Let's see. It does say some of you guys are going through mental, gentle measures of karma coming in. So it wouldn't be worth looking into marriage possibilities at times. It does say wonderful things can happen when you plan yourself out of a situation or punish yourself into it. It does say when you see bad news, don't walk all over the situation, but bless yourself and give yourself better news. I want to work with you, contemplating whether I should steal you away from your mind and tell you off. I've told you off before, and I want to know if I can take you away from your family, or maybe even take you away from your mum, or even take you away from your father, or even take you away from your parent. I've been looking at this and I'm wondering why I need to steal you away from your family. It does say bad news for whoever keeps talking about you or playing mind games to take away your family, or maybe even taking you to court, or even justifying why you should pay no time in your mind to see that problems are there. It says problems are there with people that would love to see you or even tell you off. I have felt the need to speak about this. Felonies is something I'm dealing with, and I need to speak about who it is that I need to speak to. Maybe I've got a son or a daughter somewhere and I don't know how to speak them. I want to speak to 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 them. Oh my gosh. Okay. There could be Aries that wants to speak to you, and it does say bad news for this Aries if he can't buzz off. It does say bad news if he does buzz off, because he's already put himself into a problem with people telling him that he can't speak to anyone in the legal system of yours. It does say legal system of yours, because some of you are dealing with a problem today, and it doesn't say it's good news. Warning, if there's a man that speaks to you about a problematic situation with a member of your family, including a child, it is bad news. Why would she speak about what's going on with you, or even tell someone that they could get support or even help to look for you? It does say warning, if she doesn't stop speaking about where she's going with this, she may be in a problem. She may lose her home, her house, or her job. You do know that you're supporting someone that is going to put you under the nail or under the thumb of someone else. It does say bad news if you're looking forward to news coming in like this, because it's not going to be helpful, but it is going to be very good for you to know. Someone here wants to know way too much about what's going on with you. Warning, if this person doesn't stop speaking about you, they could steal your family or even harm you. It does say blaming someone else is not the answer. I know I shouldn't speak to you, but I've got to come in and kick the door down, or maybe even tell you off for what happened before. It does say someone here is really trying to push you down the wrong road or down the wrong street. It does say some of you guys are going to pay attention to problems in your mind though, and it doesn't say a good factor is coming in for you. If you feel like bad news is coming, warn yourself whether or not this is a good thing or a bad thing. It does say some of you guys are dealing with people that want to see you in bad ways, so warn yourself whether or not it's going to be blessed energy or bad energy or curses. Okay, let's see what's going on with your wife life, because someone wants to steal you off track when it comes to that. All right, maybe they're jealous of you in some way, Virgo. All right, but let's see what's going on. But some of you guys may be getting divorced, or someone's telling you, that look, maybe it could be a threatening behavior, but let's not just guess. Let's see what's going on anyway with your love life. What's going on with marriage for Virgos? Marriage is something that you want to hear. Okay. It does say the feelings are there already for some of you guys that are controlling, showing up, and possibly giving your perspective of how you want to justify things in your life and your lover. It does say things are there for you and your lover to see that less energy is there. It doesn't always say it's great news though. At times you are warned that your person doesn't want to speak to you or see you anymore. At times you do want to see your person and they don't want to speak to you at this time. At times you don't even want to hear from them or even sponsor their mind, because they really speak to you in a way that they don't want to speak to you or even deal with you anymore. It does say warning signs are there. If your person's still there, they still love you, but at times they are worried or frightened that you're not going to be there anymore too, or even say that they don't want to see you anymore, or even say that they don't want to deal with you anymore. At times they may even call you out and say you've got problems, or maybe even tell you off and tell you that you're no good enough. At times you realize that it's not always the ideal way to treat your person, but you may have sponsored things that you don't want to hear. And at times you see that personally you don't want to see everything that goes on in a bad way, causing a problem in a relationship on purpose. At times you feel like the problems is always there for you to deal with on purpose, ongoing, like the person just always puts you in your mind to tell you that you've got to deal with things, and regardless of how you feel, it doesn't really need to be a situation of how you can contemplate other things to make things right. It does say you have been put into problems with your person where you feel like you can't even come out of them. It does say some of you are dealing with problematic situations in your mind where you feel like the person's always telling you off because of the things that they are doing secretly, though, not directly. Maybe they're always punishing you, making you feel like you're not good enough in the relationship, ideally because they're always justifying what they're doing wrong in their personal life or in their personal affairs, or where they're going, or who they're seeing, or who they're speaking to, or who they're sleeping with. Sometimes you wonder what's going on with the person, or why they even have to justify what's going on with you. At times you are not ready to speak about everything, but you try to warn yourself that you don't want to see bad news. At times you want to see your parents or even family members or even people around you support you. At times you may not get this. At times you do have good karma with it, though, and at times there is a warning for you to not speak about it. Ideally you want to see that blessed energy comes to you, and you don't want to see your problems with people and other people's mixed up and blended in your ideas, or even problems of justice and gentle mental situations come about. It says you have mind games to play with me, because I don't want to hear that you're always talking about your relationship. I feel like I'm always justifying you not to speak about relationships. I feel like there's many people like that, though, that don't want to see other people win in their marriage. And possibly, you know, for some of you guys, you may have that problem. Okay, it does say many times over you see that you give the problem as well, and you may stay there and wonder why the relationship is not working out. Marriage is something that's hard work, and it needs to be adult institutions in a way where you can work on things together in the mind. Working together in the mind is going to support you and put you back on the same path and help you through things of your mind. You have to support each other's values and not just one spouse's ideas versus the others. Okay. It does say sometimes sex is not going to be the answer either. If you are married and in a relationship where sex is just what you want to give to your person, realize that it's not going to support you all the time. And if you say hello to your friend all the time and make them feel like they have to justify your relationship and how things go inside the relationship, and warn yourself that you can't speak for yourself, then you may have mind games to play with your person. At times you may be mind gaming them or playing merciful games to in the mind of theirs to say they're going to communicate with me in the way that I want to, because I've told them how to speak to me directly in the way that I have mind read them and come out of the situation. I.e., if you are mind reading your person and maybe even contemplating how you can make believe that you can get them to do what you want because of the things that you've told them to do, because of personally not wanting to do the things that they want to do, it does say you are mimicking them, or even probably trying to gently give them problems, or maybe even trying to make them feel jealous, or maybe even trying to manipulate them, or even stroke their egos a little bit, but not all the time, because you feel like sometimes you justify why their friends get in the way too. At times you feel like their friends and their family members are always forgiving you but not always giving you, and at times they do help feel like stress is there, but you don't feel like news is coming overall. Some of you are dealing with stress related issues with your partner right now. It does say boring. You just got to move past these ignorant situations. You could be justifying why the problem just never gets worse at times because you want it to get worse, or you want it to get better. It does say you have to love yourself and see when your relationship is going to bless you, or not stay in it, or just contact the situation. Sorry, I'm sorry for laughing. It's like someone keeps trying to get in the way, and it does say this person doesn't want to see you win in your relationships, none at all. And it does say bad news for whoever doesn't want to see you win in your relationship, whether it's you Virgos or your spouse or someone else outside of the relationship. Someone just does not want to see you marry another man, woman, or female or man that you're with. They don't want to hear that you're with them. And it does say bad news to whoever keeps pushing you in a problem. Even in your own personal situations, at times your wedding day is going to be great, or your marriage is absolutely fine, but at times they're struggling. Okay, at times you're struggling. And it does say you love yourself way too much, but it does say sometimes you have to love yourself enough to say that you love yourself, but your person has to love you too. And it's special for you both to understand the love making skills, or even the love that you share together to support each other's life and lifestyle. It may take some time, but counseling may be needed, or moving homes to get away from certain people, or even addressing situations that could come up at any time to support you, or maybe even put problems in your mind, or even on your path or in your way. Okay, that was a lot. Let's see what's going on with Aries and Virgo. Virgo, doesn't want to hear from Aries. Aries wants to hear from Virgo, and Virgo doesn't want to speak to you. But try and warn yourself that blessings can come right now. People do want to see you blessed, but warning, some of you don't need to go through the problems of someone that does want to speak to you and see you and doesn't know how to stop. Okay, what's going on with Taurus and Virgo? Taurus and Virgo. It says Taurus does not want to hear from you. And it does say Taurus does, but at times they really feel like they're tired or speaking less, or maybe even seeing to other things that they're doing, or even murmuring to themselves that they've got to get back to you soon, but can't see you right now, or maybe see you later. Okay. Let's see what's going on with Gemini. Gemini doesn't want to get dressed up and go out. They don't want to see you, but they know they need to. And at times they really want to, but they don't know when to speak to you either. And they're trying to time a situation, they can't. And they cleverly feel like they can at times, but they just don't know how. They really want to support you with bad news, but warning signs are there for you to speak less about the situation. Karmic situations can come about through the weather, or maybe even just gently reminding someone that it's not going to be a good idea to work on something today because it's not going to be worth it for whatever reason. Okay. Let's see what's going on with Cancerian and Virgo. Cancer does not know how to support you with everything, but they realize that they do, and they could change or even greet you or speak to you one day, but they don't know how to support you with everything. Meanwhile, it doesn't say it's good news for whoever wants to keep coming in and speaking to you about things that they're doing or seeing. They don't know how to see everyone in the same way that they saw you, and at times they realize how much they miss you or need you. It doesn't always say it's good news, but this person really misses you or needs you. Okay, whether it's them or someone else around them that knows them and knows you. Okay, let's see what's going on with Leos and Virgos. Leos and Virgos. Okay, Leo doesn't really want to pretend that they're your mate. They don't want to hear that they're always your friend. They don't want to deal with you in that way. They just rather see that they're always going to be there for you at times where they could be, and when they are, they're loyal or they're trustworthy, or just don't want to hear that they're always there for you. They just realize they don't need to be your friend, but they want to, and at times they just don't want to, and at times they do. They realize that they just need to time the situation or see when it is necessary to speak to you, and when they do, they want themselves not to speak, but they are leaking out information to get you invited to a problematic situation, or want to hear that you're involved in a good situation. At this time, it is not a good one, so they don't want to see that you're in a bad way, but they're looking for you with bad news. Okay, let's see what's going on with Virgo and Virgo. Someone here wants to knock down your mind with something maybe, or something they've got to say, or maybe just to kind of like picking up a little bit of bullyish energy there. Okay, all right, let's see what's going on with Virgo. Anyway, Virgo and Virgo. Virgo doesn't want to hear that they've got problems with you. They just don't want to see it. They don't want to know it, and they don't want to see that you're invited into a problem with theirs. They just know that they've karmically cursed you or told you off, or probably told you that things would never be the same. It does say with them though, or even without them, because they don't want to see you even in a loving situation. At times they just do, and at times they don't, but they realize it's not worth it at all to see you in a good way or a bad way. At times they wonder where you are and what you're doing, but they don't want to see you in a happy way. They just wonder why they do that to you. Virgo and Virgo. I need to sort it out, honey. All right, let's see what's going on with Libra and Virgo. Libra and Virgo. Libra hates the hell out of you. Sometimes they feel like bad news can come to them and they don't want to hear it. They realize that you don't want to hear it, so stop speaking to them then. And they don't want to hear that you're always pushing your mind about it. They realize they don't want to hear from you. You don't want to hear from them, so leave it. Just drop it and end it already, because they're tired. And they're tired of hearing from you, and they want to address what's going on inside themselves to leave it out. Leaving you alone is something I'd rather do. Making you feel worse about it is something that I could do. Obviously, if I heard more, I could do something to make myself feel better. Wondering if I have something, I don't. I just know that I don't want to speak to you, and that's that. evil mindsets are there to please me and let me know what's happened or not happened, but I'd rather hear less. Move on, move on, move on. Anytime other than this, it says erase your mind from problems. It doesn't concern you. And it does say people want to know your business as well, other than Libra, because Libra is not the only one that wants to address things inside you, but people want to know what happened to you and don't need to. It does say speak less to me about what's going on in my personal life. You won't need to know everything, but later on someone may ask you about what happened to your mind, or even things that happened in the past. It says maybe I don't want to speak about it and I'd rather not. Leave me to deal with my mind. I need to destroy anything that's harming me right now. Let me know when I can do this without problems coming about. It does say when you feel like problems are coming to you, it does say blaming someone's always the answer. It does say leave me alone. And it does say when this person does not know how to stop warring with you, it does say Virgo, because Virgo, you are the one that keeps having problems with you as mental health, and even the stress that they have in their mind to understand who you are. At times they need to see you or not see you, or speak to you or not speak to you, and other people chime too. And it does say warning, if Libra can't understand that they need to move on or study something else or move past it, may them see whatever they need to see in their own mind or in their own life about who they are. Don't speak to me about problems about my own life or my own mind. You move on and make sure that you love yourself for who you are. It's not going to be certain that you have great news overall with the Libra, but it does say caution. If you are a Virgo, you have better news, leaving the structures or the mindsets with people that can understand you better and move past the situation and love you and care for you. Not speaking about bad news, but giving you good karma. All right, let's see what's going on with Scorpio and Virgo. Scorpio doesn't want to hear from you and addresses everything in their mind today to send themselves back to a good mindset. It does say accept a son or a daughter or a mind or a person that doesn't know how to support them always, but poorly judges them and maybe putting them down right now, or maybe even seeing that they have to structure their mind later on in years to come, or maybe even seeing that blessed energy can come to them overall when the sun and the moon and the rising stars start to begin to shine in blessed ways to help everyone move past situations. It does say moving past the situation because Scorpio's energy is punished. It does say bad news is coming for Scorpios when the moon rises in the next 2 weeks. But it does say when you realize it's not going to be worth studying them, you'll understand moving past your mental health. You have studied them too much and you may have realized that problems could move past them and maybe even solve your own problems in your mental health. It does say struggles with Scorpio are there, but struggles are there with many of you in your mental stress lives or stresses, or even mental health systematic solving problems. It does say mindfully speaking, because at times when Scorpio feels like mentally speaking, they want to speak about things, they don't mention things that they don't want, and they do want good karma. But warning, if you're punishing them, pressuring them, or pushing them into mind games of your own, watch and see what happens when they do harm. Do you speak about harming them and punish them? Do you play mind games with them and hurt them? Do you try to score with them, or even settle with them, or even discuss things with them, or even drown them in the minds of their own? Do you pay attention to the things that you are doing? Or are you harming the hell out of Scorpio to the point where you don't even know it? It says time and time again, after you realize what happens to you, you may speak less to the Scorpio. I.e. Virgo does not need to hear it, but needs to want to feel like punishments is coming. Ideally, if they give themselves time, they will see that Virgo is not going to be the answer. But I will know, it does say air sign energy, or even mindful person that does know that they could speak about it way too much will steal their mindset of their own and get involved. At times, Scorpio does not need this person involved, but people realize that the person is not also the person that is them. Scorpio. The Scorpio also knows, they realize they don't have to deal with everything that you have to say, Virgo. And Virgo can feel like whatever it is that they have to feel inside themselves to move past it. They will see that once I see that things can work out for myself, I can trust that it will. And when I realize it will, it will. All the time I really needed was time alone to support my mind. Poor you if you feel like I can't. When was you going to realize that you could support your mind on your own, or maybe even put blessings in your path that could help you? Solve your own. solve your own and see if it happens. Nope, you just want to see that I am harmed. But I tell you what though, continue and see the wrath of God, or help yourself move past the situation. Blaming me is not the problem. Make sure you look good in the eyes of others and help them through their situations. Or maybe even see that you have problems of your own to deal with. I've timed the situation and I'll see the situation when I need to, but at times I will realize I'm not going to be put under the thumb of yours to make you feel like bad news is coming. And I warn myself this because I'm not going to deal with you all the time in your mind to help you. When I help you, you feel like you want to dress up, look good and go out and help yourself with all kind of things that can solve your problems. What will I do to get some of this energy in return to support myself? When will I get it and who from? Is that the problematic situation that you have to deal with? Because now I realize that Scorpio is not the problem. It is us that want to push Scorpio down the wrong road. Meanwhile, we are feeling way too much for the Scorpios, mentally giving them stress. Overly well done energy is what we want, mimicking their energy to get more and more of their energy to support us in return and not give others. Yeah, that sounds like overly entitled energy. And it does say mental health structures is not going to help any of you to move past the situation. Ideally, if you're a Virgo that helps Scorpio, then you're going to be blessed. If you're not a person that helps Scorpio, you are going to be worse off in the eyes of theirs, or maybe even seen as a problem. They're not going to solve your problems overnight, or even see that they're going to help you in the next 2 months, a year, or even many years to come. But warning, you have to see why. Scorpio is ready to move on past the negative mental health structures that have been given to them and look for blessed energy and punish themselves no more. Okay, what's going on with Sagittarius? Sagittarius and Virgo. Sagittarius and Virgo. Sag doesn't want to work with you, but they will if they have to, and they war with themselves overnight to see that blame will come to them again at times, or not come to them. But ideally, if they dealt with you, it wouldn't be you that they want. They always want to deal with someone else. And if there was a way to deal with someone else, they could, but they can't. And at times they realize that they read into things way too much, or even look past the situations at times and war with themselves again. They will trust that they see blessings come to them and move past it. They just don't want to hear from you. At times they want to see someone else, but it's never going to be you that gets karma from them. They just realize they need support with other people that understand who they are or can think like them, could help them past the situation. It will never be you that gets good karma if you can't support them though. And it does say mentally they stress out so much to hear that good news can come to them. When they see that they have good news, they will see blessings come one day and they will see that good news comes another. And when they realize it, they will support you. And word of advice, if you help them, they will help you. But you have to give them good karma. And when you do, you will get it. Good karma comes to you all. All right. They say they see you for who you are and they wonder where it's going. But at times they don't wonder what's going on with you enough, Virgo. But forgive you is something that they want to do. At this time, they want to forgive you and they will move past it and leave you alone. Okay. So let's see what's going on with Capricorns. Capricorns and Virgos. Capricorn does not want to dress up or go out or even see you happy. They really realize that they're not giving you good times in your mind to remember. At times they realize that they do war with anyone that does want to war with them and can't stop this. They just justify this with many others, or maybe even speak to people on the go or on the double to hear that they are in bad moods. At times they realize they need support from you, but will peel off at the same time too. In times of need, they will support you and not support you and put you on the path of where they want you to be and not want to be. At times they are really giving you stress, or even stresses of things that you don't want to hear, and they time the situation more time than any. They will realize that it's not going to be worth laughing and making fun of you when they realize that supporting you is supporting them to support something out there. But it doesn't say it's always going to be good. Maybe they need to look past the issues that they have in their minds and move past the struggles that they have there, to move past whoever's out there to support whoever's helping them to help you, not help you with bad mood, and look into good karma. Warning, if you are stressed dealing with Virgo, or maybe even helping them to deal with situations in your mind, you will struggle. But at times, Virgo, you know that you can support them with things that you want to help them with, and at times you may not want to. So at times you realize that you will, and at times you realize you won't. You will not want to help only good karmic people, is what you've said. Only good karmic people. But at times you don't want to hear that you have problems dealing with the stressful nature of the system, or maybe even the justice system. It does say many times over, people that deal with letters sent out, or even Mental health people that want to structure patterns, believing that they have good news, trying to warn you that they have blamed you no more, struggling with you. It does say struggling, because if you were just a situation, you can see that problems are still there. And it does say blame it then. Go on, tell me that I've got problems in that problem, because I don't want to hear it. But you can have that problem if you want. I don't want to hear that I'm always dealing with bad news. But if you want me to, then you're going to have to show me. But if you don't want to show me, I will understand that it's a good time to believe that no more should be given out. And now I realize that I don't need to hear you speak to me at all. But I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear from you. And I don't want to speak to any of you. So when I realize that you have good karma coming in, let me know. Then I can join you with things that you want to hear that are going to support me. But until that time comes, I just don't want to hear you. Let your mind be known to me in good ways. When I realize this, I will join you. In that time, I will be there. But if you don't hear me, I will not speak to you. It does say letters sent out to you is going to be good. Capricorn doesn't want to hear karma come. But Capricorn also realize they have riddled many people to stir the pot. And they don't want to hear that good news is coming to you. But laugh. Make fun of the situation, because no one's going to hear that bad news comes. And maybe if they say that they have good news, they can support you. And at times they realize they don't, so they will not support you with anything but bad news. And when that letter comes, then you'll see. It does say sometimes here, someone overly justifies what they've got to do. But it does say bad news for them though. If they want to see you, they'll see. If they don't, they don't. Now leave it be. Let them struggle or see what's going on with them. And let them understand that it's not going to be worth sending you back to your mind with bad news. Because warning, are you dealing with stress, Capricorn? Or is it something that you wanted to see with many others? Stress-related problems come to many, and harming everyone is something that you felt like was going to be good for you. It does say joining everyone in bad moods. Is that what you want? A bad mood person? A bad mood people? Bad news situations everywhere? Bloody hell, you'll have problems with dealing with one or two people. Or maybe even seeing that mindful people are going to be on their minds about it. They're going to see that they don't want to see problems. Mentally stressed out problems are not going to be with you always. Leave us to realize that good karma can come in other ways. Stress about the problem and move on. All right, let's see what's going on with I'm hearing something about aunts. Someone's aunt or auntie. Okay, let's see what's going on with Aquarius. Could be an air sign person, but I'm hearing something to do with someone's auntie as well. Okay, so let's see what's going on. No one heard from you in a long time, and I realized that I'm not going to stress about this, but someone should have said something to me like, are you okay? Or whether or not you got guilt measures for what you did, or maybe even problems. It does say when she realizes that she's got problems, but it does say many times over, if the female doesn't stop giving you bad news in their minds, because the pine cone energy in their own mind, pineal gland, it does say pineal gland really comes into work right now in a way where you can solve your problems. Your pineal gland is measuring out good karma, and their pineal gland is not measuring out great news for you. Their pineal gland is merciful to you. At times it doesn't realize that it has blessed you with great news, and at times worsened you with bad news. Pineal energy is there for you. It does say pineal because at times your pineal gland is telling you off, and it does say at times your pineal gland is giving you great news. Wonderful essence of good karma can come to you when you work about who is going to give you good news and who's not. It says pineal energy is something I want to see. At times I wonder if the pineal gland in me is going to be okay. My pineal gland needs to support you, but I realize if I'm not supporting you, I'm not giving you good news. Pineal energy is something that someone wants to see if it's going to be placed on hold, or maybe even going to give you a problem in the future. At times someone wants to see if it's pineal gland that needs support. It does say problematic situations with your pineal glands are not going to be a problem. At times you have great news with your pineal gland, and at times you have poor news with your pineal gland. At times we want to see that you can have blamed no one and gave yourself better news with your pineal gland. It does say pineal gland because someone here keeps pushing a problem to you and doesn't want to see blessed energy come. Warning, if you are dealing with them, it does say you have to deal with them in a way that you are dealing with someone here who can solve the situation or change it, but doesn't want to see that problems can come. It does say you have blessed energy overall and don't want to harm the pineal gland. So you're not going to speak to anybody about pineal instruments or even entertain it with medicine or problematic situations. It does say medicine because someone wants to disturb your pineal gland with medicine. And it does say bad news, whoever this is or whoever needs some support with pineal gland medicine. It does say some of you guys are dealing with pineal support, and maybe even see that your pineal gland is going to be supported with someone's poor judgment. Mindfully speaking, because someone here is looking forward to a problem to look forward to have a laugh at and make fun of with someone's pineal gland. That is, oh my gosh. Do you know what? Be careful, Virgos, okay? And vice versa, because everyone, you know, has energies mimicking each other sometimes in their own little way, all right? In their own little way, all right? Depending on what each individual wants and goes through in life. So let's see what's going on with Pisces. Just be careful about someone that's trying to give someone some pineal gland medicine. That's what I know. All right, let's see what's going on with Pisces and Virgo. Pisces doesn't want to hear structures come into someone's brain. Someone here wants to see that problems are coming with someone's brain, though. Obviously, if they keep talking about brain injury or brain problems or brain this, brain that, someone wants to bring someone in to take control of someone's brain and feels like it's going to be a blessed energy to support someone's brain. It does say brain energy is something this person may need. Maybe they need support with their brain. Maybe their brain is injured. Maybe their brain needs support. It does say poor judgment is here, because whoever's trying to push someone down the wrong road with some type of brain problem, or maybe even telling the person they've got brain injuries or brain bruises or brain injuries or brain something or the other. Okay, it does say some of you guys are dealing with this, but not all of you are dealing with it in a bad way. And then it does say wondering who is dealing with it in a negative way, because someone here wants to support someone with bad energy to do with the brain. And ready or not, someone could come in and speak to you. It does say ready or not. I'm also hearing something about a rasta as well. So careful about, you know, something to do with the brain. Okay, I don't know if there's a rasta person that has anything to do with it. Not everyone is a rasta. It could also be on the rasta. Okay, now that's a different terminology. It's American terminology for people that are on, you know, on the list, so to speak. Okay, in the schedules for something, in someone's schedules. Okay, and it does say some of you guys are dealing with this on someone's roster, because some of you guys have to be on the list to get some type of brain medicine. Okay, some of you guys are on the waiting list for brain medicine. It says warning, if you are on the list for some type of brain medicine, watch out for who's going to put you in a nine-mindedness, or even scare you to get brain medicine, or even tell you that your problem is getting worse, so they can push medical drugs into you and get you involved in your mind in a way that you lose it, or even control it, or even say that you have bad news. Month after month, you may see that time comes and you may speak to no one. At times you may speak to someone, so make sure you don't speak to the wrong person that wants to put you on some type of brain medication. All right, anything else to do with Pisces? Pisces is not going to see you again. It does say Pisces realize that they don't want to see you anymore, and they try to warn you that they don't want to speak to you, so they're going to mentally move on or even leave you alone. They realize that they don't need support with their mind or even their brain, but at times they wonder what's going on with yours, or maybe even see that they have problems of their own to speak to you about, or maybe even speak to you or someone else about. At times they wonder what's going on with you, and maybe even if they have to support their mind with any type of medicine, they realize that the problems that they have are getting worse, or even something that you said or even told them, you realize that it's not you, or maybe you saw something in them and you didn't know if it was going to surprise you that they have mental health problems. It does say some of you are dealing with someone's son that has mental health problems, or someone around you that has a family member that has brain injuries or brain problems. It does say mentally ill, stressed out. Pisces may not be the answer, but some of you are dealing around a Pisces, or with a Pisces, or with a poor person around you and the Pisces that are dealing with this problem. Okay, anything else? It does say some of you need some type of support or help to hear what's going on, or maybe even see that problems are coming to you, or a sign that you've seen that someone could possibly want to try and push this on you. It says no. It doesn't say it's you, but someone around you is trying to tell you that you may need it and may not need it, and is not a nurse or doctor, or maybe even a family member, but this person may not even try to stress it enough, because the problem is their answers are coming from a legal system inside them, or even structures around them that are going on right now today. You may not need help with yours, but someone may need help with your mind to support who you are one day, if they can't see who you are or understand who you are anymore, as stress levels have risen or gone up, or even rise to a fault. It says some of you are dealing with a nursery person that may see someone go through a problem in the near future, or have dementia, or even lose their mind or their sight. Oh dear. It does say some of you guys are dealing with stress beyond your control and don't know how to support them. But you see that blaming someone is not going to be easy. You love someone so much, but you don't want to see that someone's going through problems. And you don't want to see that they're going through mental stress or even mental health. At times you realize that even if you study the situation around the Pisces or even a problem with yours, you will not want these problems and you don't want to deal with them. You don't have to, but it does say warning. If you have star sign to deal with, or even a member of your family to deal with, or maybe even father or a mother or a problem of someone's, you may have to see the problem, but you don't have to hear that the problem is yours. You just have to see that someone here wanted you to have this problem, and whether you like it or not, someone here wished for you to have it. It does say dining in your mind, something that you saw. Meanwhile, if you saw the Sagittarius in you, you realize that you don't need the problem, but Aquarius may need support with theirs. And maybe Aquarius doesn't know how to support theirs anymore. They realize they spoke or said something or used it over and over again and told you off, or maybe even told you you would have the problem. They don't know if they need it, but they realize that they need to stop stroking their ego or even see into whatever it is that they're looking into and speaking about, or even smoking, drinking, or looking at around you. Whew, that was a lot. It's going to be a long reading. Let's see what's going on with your romance angels. Okay. It says finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Okay. Other messages from your angels. Okay. Okay, let's see. Wedding. Marriage is the union of two souls joined in love, mutual respect, and commitment. If it signifies a desire to deepen love over time, your wedding day is a testament to your well-founded faith in love's power. Continually breathe life into the faith and love, dearest one. Okay, this could have something to do with marriage as well. Life review. Archangel Jeremiah, take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. Okay, overall in your commitments. All right, let's see what's going on with your universal messages. Okay. I really hear someone's energy trying to push in as well. Okay. Okay. Let's use this one here. It says, my vibes speak louder than my words. Some vibes are speaking louder than words right now. Pay attention to clairvoyance energy, you know, telepathic energy, you know, because those type of energies are in the background, almost like, you know, whispering in. But let's see what else is going on. Angel numbers 51, 10, 1, 49, 57, number 4, number 50, and number 53. That is your reading. I will speak to you again in your next one. Ciao for now, Virgos. Bye.